Hey, what's up? Let's play Enchantment by Balmages on Clarinet. Don't forget to change the speed quality on the video to make it slower if you need to in particular sections. And also, don't forget to stick around at the end of the video when I'm going to go over some tips and tricks on what you should be looking out for to make this thing sound awesome. Here we go. Horn optional notes. High notes here. So pretty good, right? Great song. Great for clarinet. Lots of cool stuff going on here. So when you first start off in the piece, you've got to come in super quiet. They have you coming in at piano. Your band director, whoever's leading your ensemble, is going to ask you to play really soft here. You notice that even though you heard me a lot through the microphone, that's because I've got my gain turned up a lot. But in real life, like IRL style, I'm playing like super duper soft. And you should be going for that as well. Basically as soft as you can play with a great sound. Make sure you take a moment to think about these G's and A's. Are you good enough at playing with your right hand down to play with your right hand down on those? Because if you can play with the right hand down on the G's and the A's, you're going to get a much more resonant tone quality and it'll be more in tune as well. Measure 13 asks you to play forte. And again, with your right hand down on these A's, I think this is not optional, by the way, for the right hand to be down on these A's at forte. Put them down and put a bunch of air through the instrument. In fact, I had to cut one of my takes because I went to blow so hard on this impact moment that I actually squeaked the clarinet and I had to stop and do it over again. But it's worth it to take that chance and go out on that limb and really put the sound out there. So don't be afraid to give it the forcefulness. As long as it's a good sound and it's in tune and your right hand's down, all that jazz. Make it sound great. Don't be afraid to be chirping, you know. If you're always afraid, if you always play safe, you're never going to have like the true fun of music. I think you got to experience some failure on that and chirp when you didn't mean to chirp and go back and think to yourself, how can I make that better? How can I make it so that I don't chirp? The answer is not to play it safe. The answer is to practice more at upper dynamic levels like fortes and fortissimos. When you have these string of running quarter notes, big breath here. Da 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 dum dum. Make sure those all have that stinger on them. You want to make sure you're conveying the style of the piece that Brian Balmages wrote, which is more aggressive, more on the front end of the note. Be sure not to come in the wrong place during your multi-measures rest. This is the first time we've experienced that in so many measures on the piece. 4 means you're going to count to 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay. When you come in here at measure 25, this is an odd entrance. It's going to be probably the hardest entrance you have for the entire piece. Your band director is going to be losing sleep at night because you, Mr. or Mrs., notoriously hadn't been able to come in on the right spot on measure 25. So if you do one thing for your teacher, practice listening to measure 21 through 29 and get the sound of when the clarinets come in your head. So your silly band director is not like... and you miss it, right? And come in on the wrong beat. That's going to be super important. I promise you that will be something that they're hyper aware of, and you'll get a gold star, okay? Also, this is a mezzo piano entrance, so you can't just come in super duper loud. You've got to come in fairly soft and let that ride. Another 2-measure, multi-measure rest. Make sure you counted 4 twice. coming in here. This is pretty easy to come in here. It's less difficult than before. When you get to measure 31, make sure those low A's are soft. It's releasing this moment of tension. Okay, and we're going to build it back up again. These horn optional notes, this happens in bands sometimes where they'll have notes that are cued in some other instrument, but they are written in your part. Now, sometimes your band director may not have a French horn player, and they'll say, hey, I need a couple clarinets to play that low A down there. And if that happens, great. I didn't demonstrate it because more likely than not, you're not going to be asked to play that. But you should know that it exists, that you might need to play it eventually. When you get to measure 35, you've got 2 notes at the same time. What? How do I play 2 notes at the same time? You don't actually play 2 notes at the same time. What you're going to do here is you're going to play the top note unless your band director tells you to play the lower note. Okay, don't just go rogue and play whatever you feel like it. Don't go like A, F. You got to go A, A, or F, F, and just ride that line out. Okay, right hand down on those A's. This is a great opportunity to practice your right hand down. It gets louder and louder. You heard me crescendo through it. And then the big rest, da, 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 forte, big sound there. When you get to the G, right hand down, if you can manage it and not squeak. When you get to measure 43 to the end, this is all piano, and I treated it as a pianissimo, which is like 2 Ps. And what that means is that you're going to play as soft as humanly possible from 43 to the end. You want to make sure also, I didn't demonstrate this, I think I messed up, but the A, this A to this A needs to have a little eensy-weensy bit of space between it. Bum, dum. So it's spaced out. If you're able to pull that off, your band director will be more happy, or the musical leader will be more happy. All right, folks, that's all I've got. If this helped, like and subscribe. Get in the comments and tell me how bad I am at clarinet, or tell me like that my hair looks silly today or something. I'd love to hear from you, and I think you're great for trying this song out. I hope it goes great. Tell me how it goes. If you get any YouTube recordings, share them on here. Let me know what it's like for your band to play this. All right, see ya.